2025 was a good year for me. I traveled to 13 new countries, I moved into a new apartment, but it was especially good when it comes to my trading. I received the most amount of payouts, which means I made the most amount of money I have through trading. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you 10 things you can do to become a profitable trader in 2026. Number one is going to be master one strategy. I see a lot of people, they hop from strategy to strategy if the one they're using is not working within like 2 weeks, a month, whatever it may be. The thing is, you need to focus on one strategy. I've really only traded 2 strategies throughout my whole trading career. Number one was support and resistance, which I traded for a while. I would say a year and a half, year, something like that. But I definitely took my time with it and I did not hop from strategy to strategy. And the second one is supply and demand, which I still use to this day. And I do not ever see myself switching strategies because this is the one that has really clicked for me. I've gotten a lot of payouts with it. And honestly, it's just so simple. But like I said, a lot of people tend to hop from strategy to strategy. So if you're doing that in 2025, I'm telling you that is going to be one of the things that's holding you back from becoming profitable. So in 2026, you got to leave that behind. Focus on one strategy, give it time. The second thing is trade less. I know that might sound crazy because you think, oh, if I trade more, I can make more money. With trading, that is not it. I'm telling you guys, trade less. For me, I will only take 1 trade per day if it is a trading day for me, because if you know me, not every single day is a trading day. I really can't remember the last time I've placed a trade every single day in a whole week, Monday through Friday. Normally, on average, I'd say I'm trading maybe 3 times a week. I'm still showing up at the charts every single day, marking out my levels, waiting for the levels to be hit so I can be in a trade, but it doesn't happen every single day. The most important thing is I still show up, but I know when to be in a trade and when to not be in a trade. So over trading is going to kill your account. That's why I recommend trading 1 time per day. But if you do want to get a little more, I recommend 2, but nothing really more than that. I think 1 is that sweet spot. If you win, you're not going to give any of your profits back to the market. If you lose, you're not going to risk losing even more. So that's why it is important to only have that 1 trade per day, because no matter if you win or lose, you don't want to give any money back to the markets. Now, number 3 is journal every trade. Data does not lie. We know that in journaling, every single trade is going to show you what's working and what's not working. And it's so important and so overlooked. So many people overlook what's not working. And that's one of the most important things that you need to focus on, because they're only focused on what's working. But whatever's not working, you need to change that. A lot of people are still unprofitable because they ignore their losing trades and that sort of stuff. But those losing trades are going to teach you just as much, if not more, than your winning trades. So that's why I definitely recommend focusing on journaling and focusing on those losing trades just as much as your winners. Now, journaling is going to teach you a lot about yourself. It's going to teach you what your best days are, what your worst days are, what's your average risk to reward. It might show you on NASDAQ, 70% of your trades were profitable, but when you were trading Dow, only 25% of the trades were profitable. And that's something very important to actually realize, because now you can see, okay, my setups look like they're getting respected more on NASDAQ compared to when I'm trading Dow. It's small stuff like that that's really a game changer when it comes to becoming profitable. You need to be tracking your entries, exits, emotions. That's all important stuff. So a lot of people, they talk about journaling, but they really don't do it. So I'm telling you, this is going to be one of those big things where if you want to become profitable in 2026, go ahead and start journaling, because I did not journal for a while. And that is one of the things that held me back so long, because if I would have actually sat down, journaled every single day and seeing what I was doing right, seeing what I was doing wrong, I could have fixed what I was doing wrong a lot quicker and realized that my mistakes were keeping me from becoming profitable. So if I would have started journaling earlier, I would have been profitable faster, but that's why I'm telling you guys this. So 2026 can be the year you become profitable. Now, number 4 is risk management. Risk management is super important, and you need to worry about risk management over profits for right now. If you don't control risk, then profits really don't matter. If you're just trying to have a crazy risk reward so you can try to make as much money as fast as you can, you're really not going to be profitable that way, because if you do lose, now your loss is going to be way bigger than you actually wanted it to be. You need to actually sit there, calculate how much you want to risk per trade, and stick with it. For me, I normally risk 500 to 1,000 depending on what my account size is. 1,000 is the max I'm comfortable with losing. Now, if I'm first getting funded and stuff like that, I'll maybe risk $250, $300 until I build that account up, and then I'll maybe up my leverage and stuff like that. But I'm telling you guys, I don't ever go for that, oh, let me just over leverage and have poor risk management just to see if I can get my account way into the green or see if I can get this payout quicker. Overall, that's just going to lead you to becoming unprofitable for even longer, and that payout's not going to come because you're going to end up blowing your account. If you have good risk management, the profits are going to slowly come to you. Now, the fifth thing is so simple but actually pretty important. Trade one session consistently. Now, what I mean by that is pick one session, no matter if that's New York, London, Asia session. You need to just pick one session and trade that session only and do not go to the other sessions. You need to learn how the market moves during that session, see what your levels are like during that, and stick with it. A lot of patterns repeat itself over time. And like, let's say for example, if you're trading New York, you could see, okay, at 10 a.m. we get a pretty good influx of volume coming in every single day at 10 a.m. So I need to watch out for that if I'm in a trade, and maybe that 10 a.m. volume can bring me closer to my level. You can also mark out your session highs and session lows for that New York session and see, okay, normally when we break a session high in New York, we tend to go higher, or vice versa. If we tend to break a session low in New York, we tend to go lower. Do not trade the other sessions, pay attention to them. So you could see, okay, if we break London high, New York tends to do this. If we break London low, New York tends to do this. That's all important stuff. But for right now, you need to just focus on trading New York session, and you can still pay attention to the other sessions, but do not trade them. Now, number 6 is focus on execution. You need to judge yourself how well you followed your rules, not specifically your P&L. Of course, everyone likes a good P&L. You like to see it in the green, plus 500, plus 1,000, whatever it may be. But just because it's a winning trade does not mean it's a good trade. And that might be confusing some of you guys, but if you had a winning trade and you broke 3 of your rules, that does not mean it was a good trade. That was actually a pretty bad trade. If you had a losing trade, but you followed every single rule you have, that's a good trade. So just because your P&L's in the green does not mean that it was a good trade. You need to focus on how you execute, focus on your rules, and that is going to determine your longevity as a trader. Because if you can actually stay disciplined and follow your rules, that is going to make you profitable. Not those green days where you're not following your rules. That's just going to lead to you blowing your account eventually. Profits are a byproduct to following your rules. You have to follow your rules to see the profits. So I'm telling you guys, worry about execution and make sure your green days are actually from a good trade. You followed your rules, and make sure even your red days are good days still. Make sure you followed your rules. You did not overtrade, over leverage. Make sure you only lost what you were comfortable with losing. If you only want to lose 200, but you over leverage and now you lost 800, you just lost way more. Now you set yourself in a way bigger hole. And if you're only comfortable with risking 200, but you over leverage and risk 1,000, even if you made 1,000, that's not a good trade because you over leveraged, you broke your rules. And if that trade would have went south, you would have just lost 1,000, which would have set you into a bigger hole. So follow your rules, worry about executions. Now, number 7 is you need to cut losers faster. Honestly, that was a big issue I had back in the day when I just started trading. I was not cutting my losses quick enough. I would cut my winners very fast, but I would not cut my losers fast enough. I would just keep letting them run, and by the time you know it, I lost so much money. Small losses are just a tuition to the game, and a lot of times big losses are just a part of your ego, and you do not want those big losses whatsoever. Remember, profitable traders protect their capital first. That's the main thing. We have to protect our capital. So kind of what I just said about risk management, you don't want to over leverage or anything. You want to have good risk management. When it comes to trading, if you do not want to lose more than 200, make sure your stop loss is at 200. That's cutting your losses appropriate. And do not just keep moving your stop loss further and further and further to where by the time you know it, you lost $1,000 when you originally only wanted to lose 200. And even when it comes to the winners, right? Make sure you have your take profit at an appropriate level. You don't want to have a 1 to 30 risk to reward, right? That's so unreasonable. Make sure you have a certain level that you're comfortable with taking profit at that's reasonable when it comes to risk to reward. Now, number 8 is going to be backpedaling off journaling, but you need to review your trades every single day and go more in depth. And when it comes to reviewing your trades and seeing how well you're doing, one trade means nothing. And that's why reviewing is going to be very important, because you need to go ahead and review 50 of your trades, 100 of your trades, 500 of your trades. And it's really going to see how well your strategy and how well you are performing over time. Because like I just said, one trade really is not going to show you anything. You have to go back and review the last 3 months, last 6 months, last year worth of data to really see how well you are as a trader, what progress you made, and what progress you can still continue to make. Now, number 9 is detach emotions from money. A lot of people are very emotional when it comes to trading. They're very attached to the money, which causes them to make stupid decisions like not cutting their losses fast enough, over trading, over leveraging, stuff like that. If every trade feels personal to you, you're probably doing something wrong, because in reality, that's how it felt for me for the longest time. But I realized trading's not actually that exciting when you're risking a certain amount. You know what you're doing, you're comfortable with yourself, your strategy, stuff like that. I have no ties to the money now, because when I did have ties to the money, I was always making some sort of mistake, and most of the time I was over leveraging. When I only risk, let's say 200, which is what I'm comfortable with losing, let's say on that account, I don't have any emotion when it comes to that, because if I lose 200, I'm fine with it. Now, when I only wanted to lose 200 and I was over leveraging to $500, now I was getting very emotional. I was getting anxious. I was getting worried when the trade was in the red, because I know, okay, if this goes to stop loss, I'm losing over double what I wanted to lose. And see, when you have emotions tied to your trading, when you have emotions tied to money, that's when you start making mistakes that's going to interfere with you becoming profitable. Leave a lot of those emotions behind. You're still going to have some emotions, sure, but make sure the emotions are not tied to you making stupid mistakes like over trading, over leveraging. Let the trade play out. Now, number 10, which is something that's going to be very, very important, is you have to treat trading like a business. You need to set rules. You need to track your metrics. You need to limit risk and plan ahead. Remember, we're trying to scale this like an actual business. We need to make more capital so we can risk more and make even more money, which opens up new doors. We need to get more funded accounts. We need to have a personal account, that sort of stuff. That's the mindset you need to have. You need to have that growth mindset, and you need to treat this like a business. If you treat trading like just a hobby, or if you do not treat it like a business, you're probably not going to scale. Gamblers and people that do not take this serious, they do not scale. Trading is an amazing thing. It opens up opportunities to have your time back. You can make more money literally just from your computer. So treat it like a business, and you could definitely see results. So that was just 10 quick things right there. Remember, if you were not profitable in 2025, 2026 needs to be the year. You guys need to implement this stuff. You need to take it serious. 2026 is going to be that growth year, and I hope to see your guys' progress. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, you could click the link in the description or click the link in the bio. And if you guys want to join the group, click the link in the description, click the link in the bio, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.